Monday, October 6, 2025, special school board meeting. The special school board meeting is open to in-person participation available to the public via live stream. 1, routine matters. A, call meeting to order and verify quorum present through a roll call. Board Member Montoya.
Present.
Board Member Aspis. Is she online? Or Secretary So.
Present.
Vice President Wells.
Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Present.
Okay.
Can I join by your phone?
Yes, go ahead, and she's going to call your name real quick.
Okay.
Board Member Aspis, are you present?
Here.
Okay, and I am here, so we have quorum. 2, reports and possible board action. A, consideration and possible board action to approve Apple customer agreement, scope of work, and quote.
We have Amy Conley and Mike Thomas to present.
Okay.
Yes, it's working.
You're good? Okay. Good afternoon, board members, Superintendent Carlson, and audience. We are here to present the scope of work and Apple price quote for our EdTech note. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you for approving our EdTech note for our district this summer. We are here to present our new device quote since it exceeds the 60,000. This will allow our district to upgrade existing technology from over 5 years ago. So I'll start with the quote itself.
Steve, I can't hear.
Is this better, Ms. Aspis? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm going to put you over.
Sure. Can you make it bigger? Can you make it bigger?
Yeah, I can't see it either. It's real small.
There you go.
Hi, Ms. Aspis. Can you hear me okay now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay, so our first item is a 13-inch MacBook Air. The quantity is 2,145. The unit price is $879 each. Our second item is the 4-year Apple Care for the 13-inch MacBooks. So that will be, the quantity for that would be the same, the 2,145. The unit list price is $239 a piece. Our third item is the STM shell for the 13-inch MacBook Airs. These come in 5 packs, so we would order a quantity of 429, and that price comes to $224.75. Mike actually does have an example here to show.
Oh, these are cool. Even though I'm not a fan of iPads, but or Apple products.
Oh, cool. Come with me.
I always believe you eat an apple and not play with it. Just
Keyboard.
this is actually pretty cool. Thank you.
Pretty durable. Yeah, as long as they don't
Drop kicking.
hit it with a bat.
Item 4 is the APS Mac package, the deploy services. The services will be needed for 2,145 devices at $20 a piece. Item 5 are the iPads. These are packaged in 10. The quantity would be 296. And that 10 pack is $5,129.50. These actually have the Apple Care included in the pricing.
The Apple what?
Apple Care, I'm gonna have Mike explain Apple Care and deploy services. You wanna go ahead and do that now?
Yeah, so with the Apple Care and then the deployed services, the Apple Care actually covers it's 2 broken times that Apple will cover it and actually repair it for free of cost. So the district, for every student, if they were to break it twice, it would be covered for Apple Care. And for the white glove services are actually helping us because we're going to get a spreadsheet from the third party vendor that they're going to use for the white glove services, which will be provided with asset tags and the full report of where each device is going. Because we asked to have them separate all the iPads and all the MacBooks per location prior to getting them. So it would make it easier on us and give us the spreadsheet of where these devices are going. So they're going to be actually assembling them as well and putting the cases on, so we have a faster deployment for us.
So they come ready to go if they assemble them all?
Yeah, physically with the device and scanning of the asset tags and a report sent to us, we do get that. But as a technology team, all the technology guys get involved, and we actually still have to configure them for the student within our Jamf MDM, which is our management system that we currently use for our Apple devices. And we still have to configure on that end, but it eliminates all the downtime with opening the box and taking the case off and putting the case back on. So with the white glove service, it'll be done prior.
It comes ready to go then?
Yeah, and with the physical aspect, but not with the actual configuration of it.
Explain to me what white glove,
The white glove,
what you're talking about.
so what they do is they're going to get they come in a pack of 5. So they're going to take the MacBook out and actually put the asset tag on there for us, put it in a spreadsheet for us, and put the case on, and then put it back into the shipment of the box, and they'll send that to us pretty much with all the physical components with the case and asset tagging.
Okay.
Yep.
Question.
Go ahead.
Does that white glove service, does that include any training for our techs?
No, that actually just includes, like I said, just for that section. We do actually have I want to say pretty much all my team actually is Jamf certified right now.
Oh, okay.
With our management system, and they all have a Jamf 100 license, and as a district we paid for that to get them trained already.
Okay.
So I mean, they're all pretty novice around it, and they're pretty good with that and everything, but if it would come to training, we would actually have to get with Apple to see if there is maybe something around Apple School Manager, but we currently use Jamf, which is a different vendor than Apple itself. So,
Okay, thank you.
So with those iPad devices also comes the 4-year Apple Care and also the rugged combo touch case. Item 6 is the deploy services for the iPads, which we just talked about, the $2,960 at $18 a piece. And our last item is the Logitech Zone Learn over-the-ear headset. So these headsets actually have a mouthpiece that the students can speak into, which is going to help us with our WIDA access assessment, specifically the speaking domain, and also our Amira monthly progress monitoring, which they definitely need that in order to complete that assessment monthly. So there are 2,960 of those at $34.95 a piece. We actually have one on hand if anyone wants to look at it.
Those are nice. Kid friendly.
Yes. Yes, Ms. Aspen?
Yes, could you let President Haskell know I want
Go ahead, ask your question, Ms. Aspis.
Before, a few administrations ago, the district bought a lot of, and I believe at that time it was MacBooks. And then later on in the school year, I noticed that a lot of them were just stacked in the IT near Nussbaum's desk when he was before his retirement. And seeing that and knowing that, all I would ask is that I believe they just stacked it there because a lot of it was obsolete and that it couldn't be repaired. And so with the new ones that we're purchasing, I know with technology, it things tend to go obsolete faster than anything else. But to get our money's worth, I'd like not for that to happen again.
Okay, so I think that was probably when I was first became coordinator here for technology. I think when Mr. Nussbaum was in that office, believe the reason when I was here, those MacBooks were actually broken MacBooks that we didn't have any Apple Care on at the time. So we weren't able to send them back at that time. And that's just how much we're broken from all the high schools in the district. But with this, we're having the Apple Care for 2 broken per year, I believe. So the student can break it and it will be covered with the Apple Care. And then when you're talking about the actual lifetime of them, we do currently have 2 different models in the district now, which is the T2 MacBook and the M1 MacBook. We're jumping to the M4 MacBook, so they'll be the newest of all the MacBooks right now. And we would probably keep some from the M1 batch because we want those as spares. But most likely for the T2s, they are legacy, so they are pretty much end of life as well. So we wouldn't keep those T2s. And that's pretty much the difference between the T2, the M1, and the M4 right now for us.
Question.
Go ahead.
What's the anticipated lifespan
Also,
of
I know
these
a lot of
products?
it was done by, from what I was told, some of it was delivered by the students. How are we ensuring that? I mean, that's vandalism, but I don't know how or what, if there was any solutions on how to prevent that. Because we can't just keep ordering by bulk and supplying these, and if they're not going to take care of them.
And I know and I know at some schools actually, some of the techs are actually giving information to principals to actually keep the cases on and telling the staff or administrators that this certain student doesn't have case on, so the school then enforces what student is and goes from there.
Mr. Wallace, go ahead and ask your question.
I forgot what it was now. What's the anticipated lifespan of this particular model? What are we looking at? And then I would be interested in knowing what the district has in place for misuse by the students, if there's any accountability to them and the family for misuse of this highly expensive product.
Yeah, I can talk about the lifespan portion, but the lifespan, I would say it's going to be about 4 years for the device itself. The older models, like I said, the T2 models that we first originally got when it was deployed for COVID, those are the T2 models, and those are more obsolete now, where they're pretty much, you know, reaching very end of life, which the majority of our students do have right now, and they do pretty much. You could tell with the battery life, the memory, it's all slowing down with the age of the device. So it's about 4 to 5 years. Oh, and then also for the technology use agreement, all the students do sign the technology use agreement form at the beginning when they first register. It's given in the checkmark box of the agreement part. I know some schools do actually charge for specific vandalism when you can tell it's actually, you know, they want them, or they do break the device on purpose. But out of that one, I'll let Amy.
And a lot of those cases are handled at the school level. So depending on the situation, administration at the school would address that.
Okay, one more question, hopefully. You said the kids, when they register, they check a box that they know this. What facilities, what procedures do we have in place for the parents to be aware that they are ultimately responsible for this? Not just the kids say, check the box, and parents don't know anything about it.
Okay, thank you for that question. It's actually built into the Power School registration forms. So the parents are aware when each year when they register their student, it's inside that, and it is a checkbox, but it goes into more detail on that particular form.
Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Aspis.
So what comes to mind now is a lot of those are sent back home, and do we share any liability in, because we all know that if equipment, especially those type of batteries, lithium, it can explode if overheated. And do we share any liability, or is there anything put in place to say that we don't I guess kind of protect us legally? Have you checked into that, Ms. Conley?
Do we have any specifics with the battery? I don't think we have anything specific that has to do with the actual battery. Do you know anything else to add?
I can give one example actually, but it was not a MacBook, it was a Chromebook. But if something were to happen like that, the vendor reaches out to us and we send the device back to them, and they give us a statement of pretty much what had happened and if it was that issue. So if something did come to that, I believe Apple would reach out to us and tell us to send the device back and tell us what it actually caused that problem. But in this case that happened here in the district, that was caused by a student actually puncturing the battery, and it did kind of sizzle or smoke a little. So that was one, I guess, example I can use that a vendor would reach out to us, whether it's Google or the maker of the device.
I'm thinking more of the extreme of, say they leave it in their vehicle and it's hot, and the battery starts to bulge or you know, forbid a fire. And then even at home, if it's overcharged or undercharged, do we share liability in that, or have we done have we made steps to keep us from that? Because most probably don't even know that those things can happen.
So we don't have anything specific about a battery either exploding or overheating in our policy, our user agreement policy. But we can look into, adding something that would clarify that.
I think my only ask would be that,
When the agreement, or when the student signs the agreement, they need to be told of those things too. I don't think, there's usually a caution of warnings, but I wonder how many actually take the time to read those.
Yeah, because a caution, that would be in the packaging, in the user guide, I would feel.
I would think that with the parent-student technology agreement, maybe if that could include that, a separate sheet with the cautionary things added to it, so that we wouldn't have to amend the agreement, but just add the sheet with the cautionary things to it. Did you have anything, Board Member Montoya?
Well, I was just going to say, to your point of adding that, when they receive that agreement for both the parent and the student, obviously it has to be in written form about the possibility of and or adding to protecting the device as humanly possible in respects to not leaving out extreme cold, extreme heat, damage, what it could do. It's unfortunate, but you have to do that. That's why there's warning labels to begin with, and that whatever we can do to certainly try to mitigate, minimize liability upon the school district, even though we know that people are going to do what they're going to do, still at least provide that in the documentation when the students receive that through the parents and for them, and when they're given to them, to have that expressed by the teacher in the classroom or the educator to say, here, you understand this, take this, read this, and know that there's always going to be some possibility. It's mechanical. It can fail. So I appreciate Ms. Aspas bringing that up. So, because that is important. Again, to the point of the example of somebody poking the battery. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen, but at least have something written in the documentation to cover that.
I would agree. I agree on that.
Board President,
Go ahead.
just a quick question, Ms. Conley. Back with that administration that Board Member Aspas was talking about, I think it was under Mr. Benavides' administration, we had a parent-student contract that was signed for technology, and that was during COVID. Are we still using that contract?
Yes, it's the same technology agreement.
Okay, good. And so I think it'd be pretty easy just to add some language in there to Ms. Aspas' point.
That would be great.
I'm happy to help if you need me to.
Okay, sounds good. We'll start working on that.
All right.
Thank you, Board President.
Is there anything else, Ms. Conley?
We were going to briefly go over the statement of work summary.
Okay.
So that I'm just going to kind of summarize the statement of work for your reference. So services include the off-site deployment for the 2,145 Macs and the 2,960 iPads. For payment purposes, it does say 30-day terms. CCSD will provide full payment in one installment. Delivery to one location, so that will be the warehouse. Customer requirements include designate a point of contact, which will be Michael Thomas, reporting damage within 10 days of delivery, if there is any, providing asset tag specs, placement 10 days before shipment, and not to include any personally identifiable information that would share any student data. Services included, off-site asset tagging, up to 2 tags per device, the case installation, and the asset report, which Mike briefly talked about. Deploy assist, which includes the services coordinator for planning execution, the schedule monitoring and issue resolution, and the delivery confirmation. Exclusions will be on-site installation configuration. Our tech department will do that. Device activation. They will not provide after-hours weekend work, the company, trash removal, or environment management. Deliverables include devices with asset tag and an encased, asset report with device details, the summary report with recommendations, and the service delivery confirmation. So that's the statement of work in a nutshell.
Comment.
Go ahead.
When you scroll through there and you look at it down towards the bottom, it actually shows them where the best place is to fit those tags, which is nice because that way it doesn't impede with anything else when they start bringing them out. And obviously, I'm going to ask a very simple question. You guys will be there to receive those and go through every single one of them before they're even do anything with them, right?
Yeah, yeah, we would actually, the techs would actually have to go through every single one of them and make sure it's that actual verified asset tag. And at the same time, we use our MDM, which is the management system, to actually see the serial number, see if they match up with everything. And that's when we have to add them in our Apple School Manager. And from there, they configure it and they do what's called a preload. And they modify the preload to each student, and that's where it's assigned to them.
Okay, yeah, I'm just saying that in respect so people know and understand. It's not going to be received by the warehouse. It's not going to sit on the dock for 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, and then you guys show up and then start going through that. Obviously, the time is very important in respects to when it's received, when they're looked at as soon as possible, because there is that window for returns. So appreciate it.
And we do have a time crunch on this. We did have a time frame, and that's part of the reason we're wanting to move forward for a winter break deployment. We actually surveyed principals and asked them what kind of deployment they would like to see, and that's what they came back with. So that's our goal. That's why we're trying to get this pushed through so we can have them ready to go for students to use in January.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay.
If there's no further questions, we're making a motion to adopt.
Yes.
I make that
to
motion.
approve. Okay. Do I have a
I will
second?
second that motion.
Okay, got a second. Board Member Montoya, how do you vote?
Yes.
Board Member Aspis, how do you vote?
Yes.
Board Secretary Wells, or Secretary So, how do you vote?
I vote yes to approve.
And Vice President Wells, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, with that, we
I make
go-
a motion then to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. Board Member Montoya, how do you vote?
Yes.
Board Member Aspis, how do you vote?
I didn't catch that. What
It's-
are we
it's-
voting on?
To adjourn.
Okay, yes.
Secretary So, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Vice President Wells, how do you vote?
Being I made the motion, yes.
And I vote yes. We adjourn at 3:35.